Hey guys, WildHeart here, and today we'll do patch 14.21 rundown. As we can see, there are plenty of changes to champions unlike the previous patch, so it's more focused on champions rather than the items changes. And items and runes are just slightly adjusted. So yeah, let's see what patch brings, because this looks quite global that can overall have a major impact on the game. However, as I can see, there's pretty much nothing changed about supports. Maybe... oh, I see another nerf. That's interesting. Okay, let's see. Champion bounties. We have overhauled the champion bounty system this patch. Our primary goal was to make bounties more intuitive. We still believe... how do you make them more intuitive? Like... okay, we still believe in champions gaining a bounty on their head when they are doing well, but the way that was being calculated didn't always line up with player expectations, so we rebuilt the underlying rules of champion bounties. I mean, yes, it didn't always give the bounties for champions who logically saying normally have to have bounties. Bounties are now based purely on gold. Don't worry, Pike and Gunplank players, we are ignoring special gold income from champion kits. This focus on gold means that a 000 Jinx can have a bounty on her head if she's earned enough from farming. A 0015 Janna will also have a bounty on her head as she's earned plenty of money from champion combat. Chain ganking the top lane Jax will be worth less gold on average, as giving away gold for assists devalues him faster than if he were solo kill. Silence 100 gold death won't put an extra 100 gold bounty on the Fiora, who is just trying to protect her turret. We have chosen these new champion bounties to generally decrease the total gold given and to favor the losing team more. I mean, the idea is shitty. Like, why would you favor losing team more if we already had champion bounties for objectives like towers, drakes, heralds? I don't feel like the idea. It kinda kills the concept of early game snowball bot lanes, mid lanes as well, junglers. Like, pretty much any aggressive early playstyle is less rewarding. So at the same time, it's kind of a nerf to ignite as a summoner that helps you to get early lead, and kinda brings more potential to team play. It's kinda dumb. Honestly, it's kinda dumb. Like, I do understand how it looks on paper, but in fact it's kinda dumb because it just destroys the solo carry potential of individuals who are like really good. Alright, since individual kills and deaths won't undo negative bounties as quick, losing teams are going to give away less gold from fights, meaning their downside for taking risks will be lower and games will snowball more slowly. While we've tested these new bounties internally for a couple of months, we'll be reading player feedback and reacting quickly if any parts of this new bounty system are mistuned. Honestly, I don't like this concept. I don't like the concept at all. Like, at all. It's dumb. Overview. Champion bounties are now based on gold earned and lost, as opposed to kill death streaks and relative amount of farm. Gold from champion specific sources, for example, Draven Duration, Twisted Fate, Loaded Dice, never contribute to champion bounties. That's cool. Champion bounties are now accrued granularly. For example, it's now possible to have a bounty of +1 gold. Okay. Bounties will not display on the scoreboard until they are worth at least 150 gold and update in further increments of 50 gold. Okay, the shutdown announcement will display for any champion killed with at least a 150 gold bounty on their head. Positive bounties. A positive bounty is bonus gold given to a champion's killer when slain. Unchanged, positive bounties are no longer based upon kill streaks. Okay, positive bounties are no longer based upon your minion and monster kills relative to the average minion and monster kills of the enemy team. Champions now accrued 1 bounty gold for every 4 gold earned from kills and assists. Shutdown gold does not increase a killer's positive bounty. Potential bounty gold is now reduced by 1 for every 4 gold given away to healers and assisters on death. While in a positive state, champions now accrue 1 bounty gold for every 20 gold earned from minions and monsters. When a champion is shut down, all bounty is removed from the champion. Okay, so you cannot really have like 2 or 3 bounties like it was earlier if you were like super fat. As an exception, a champion with a bounty greater than 700 gold will carry over the remaining bounty into their next life. Okay, so you can't have 2 bounties. The first 100 bounty gold is not applied. For example, 400 gold worth of kills and assists will not give you bounty, but the next 400 gold will set your bounty to plus 100 gold. Okay, when active, objective bounties will now devalue positive bounties for the losing team. The modifier starts at 10% reduction and can reach about an 80% reduction in the most extreme scenario. It's dumb. Like, literally it's dumb. Like, I don't like the idea of killing Snowball. I don't like the idea of killing Snowball. Like, that's the concept of scaling team comps and early game team comps. If you wanna scale, you pick early team, you pick weak early team comp. You lose Drakes early on, you lose Void Drops, Heralds, whatever, but you scale for the late game. If you want to win early game, you pick aggressive early bully team that has like great synergy to finish the game quickly. What's the point of killing the entire type of playstyle just because some people cannot play properly? Like, what's the point? Because I don't really get it. It's just kind of dumb. Negative bounties. A negative bounty is a baseline devaluation of a champion's kill gold. Unlike positive bounties, this reduced value is also factored into assets, gold, and changed. Negative bounties are no longer based upon death tricks. Negative bounties are no longer reset from earning a single kill. Negative bounties are no longer undo 1 death per assist. While in negative state, base gold value is reduced by 1 for every 4 gold given to killers and assisters on death. While in a negative state, base gold value is increased by 1 for every 4 gold earned from kills and assists. Shutdown gold is applied to negative bounties. While in a negative state, base gold value is increased by 1 for every 10 gold earned from minions and monsters. Okay, the first 50 negative bounty gold is not applied. For example, a 300 gold death will set your base kill gold to minus 25, not minus 75. Objective bounties, okay, that's something interesting. Void drops now contribute. Fucking shit, holy moly, it shouldn't be a thing. Experience difference contribute about 40% less. Okay, gold difference contribute about 25% more. Turret and Drake differences are slightly more likely to contribute. Slightly more likely. Okay, objective bounties will deactivate more quickly when the losing team makes a comeback. That makes sense. Okay. Objective bounties are ending soon. Timer 60 seconds to 30 seconds. Objective bounties are decreased by 20 to 40% in situations where the losing team is already coming back. Burn natural base objective bounty 500 gold to 300 gold. Okay. That at least makes some sense. Timo voice effects. Wait, it's not effects. It's what stands for VO? Voice something? I guess it's voice something. Redundant Soul, base health decreased, E damage decreased. Aesol is a bit too strong at the moment and could use being brought down to earth as a scaler who reaches high hates late game. Not really, at least I didn't notice that, not really. I mean, yes, he can kinda just stand there to it and farm, but I wouldn't really say Aesol is strong. I wouldn't really say that. And the only thing I would personally nerf to Aesol, I would nerf his ulti. I would make the requirement to have it like empowered to have more stacks. That makes more sense to me. Azir, Hell's region AD increased. That's complete dog shit. Like AD, I don't really care. That like if you want to increase it, you can increase it. Hell's region, you don't really want to increase it because that's exactly what was your main point when you were nerfing Azir. So Why would you buff his health regen now? Kinda like that. I wouldn't really buff his health regen, but okay, okay. Brand, another round of nerfs I see, right? Mana regen is nerfed to 9. Passive Blaze. Man, Brand got nerfed like what? Like 10 times during the last year. It's crazy. This champion is so hated by Riot Games. It's not even that strong anymore. Why would you nerf him more and more? Brand is performing well in all of his roles, especially as a support where he comfortably skips a mana item despite not utilizing his passive Restore. This shows that he doesn't care enough about mana and casts his spells too freely, so we're targeting the freedom while also reducing some of his damage since he deals a ton of it in all of his roles. Bro, this champion has fucking terrible range. In order to make a decent combo, he should come melee, and this champion doesn't have any abilities to jump, to gap close, to reposition himself apart from Flash. So, do you really want him like that much? Also, nerf on Q mana cost, like, what? It's so dumb. Holy fuck. Camille. The base health reduced, W damage reduced, E damage reduced, R damage... Everything reduced? No, like, everything reduced? Okay. Let's see, let's see. Tactical sweep. Tactical sweep. They nerf the scaling if you level the spell. I mean, it's not too cool, but it's not that big of a deal for now. Clarified and tooltip, the max health damage has a 300 monster damage cap. Wall dive. Flat damage is untouched, nerfed by 15% AD scaling. Hextech ultimatum, bonus damage. Wait a second. Wait, I don't understand it. Bonus damage 5, 10, 15%. Current HP. I'm not sure how it works. Let me see. Fighting chance would like to specifically preserve your unique anti-tank properties and most impactful abilities when doing so. I mean, it's kind of whatever, I guess. I mean, that's not cool for Camille mains, but that's not the end of the world. As long as they're not touching Q, she should be okay. The nerf on base health kinda sucks though, because that's literally the difference of one hit that is very important for champions like Camille, who often plays on limit, on the actual edge. Quirky, passive damage increase, double damage increase, R damage increase. Like, man, leave this champion alone. He was buffed and nerfed and reworked so many times in the last 3 months. Leave this champion alone. Bonus true damage on passive plus 5%. Okay, Valkyrie scaling plus 50% on AD scaling. I mean, it's very difficult to deal damage with it because you don't really want to Valkyrie in like Kamikaze, but I can see it working in certain situations, especially if you have, let's say Shen top laner. Yeah, it sounds not too bad. Wait, my mic has a very poor sound, it seems. Let me flip it. No, it's even worse. Should be okay now. I hope so. Missile barrage. Plus 10% scaling, plus 10 flat damage every level. I don't exactly understand what are they doing. Like, they're nerfing this champion up and forward. Like, what's the idea? They're nerfing him, they're buffing him. They're nerfing him, they're buffing him. They're nerfing him, they're buffing him. At least, minus armor growth. It's good. It's a good nerf. She was quite powerful as far as I know last patch. So it kind of makes sense. Especially on high ranks. On high ranks, that makes the most sense. Fiddlesticks Q damage decreased. Let's see what's different. So it's -1 per level. Q is the second spell you normally max, at least in jungle. It doesn't sound too bad. Like 1% is kind of whatever for such a champion like Fiddlesticks. 1% of damage on his Q. It's kind of whatever. Galio minus 90 mana. I mean, it makes sense given what Galio's passive does. It makes sense to me, absolutely. GP, mana regen increased, E recharge time reduced. What recharge time do we have now? Oh, it's only minus 1 second. I mean, it just doesn't sound enough. It just doesn't sound enough to make the champion popular. Probably that's not their intention. Probably they just want him to make him slightly more popular. But it just sounds weak. It just sounds not like something that can change GP well enough to make him strong. Let's put it that way. When passive damage decreased. Okay. So it will be given 0.6 now. Let's do a calculation. 0.72 multiplied by, let's say, 800. Okay, so it would be like almost 6%. And now and now it's almost 5% on full items. I mean, that's not the end of the world. Literally, that's not the end of the world. But this is a strong nerf. This is a strong nerf. Simply because it's her passive that she clearly applies quite often. Yeah. That's quite strong. Quite strong, but what Riot says is reasonable too. Like, they want to shift her item builds more towards Shiftmaker and Cosmic Drive rather than Shadow Flame Deska. And that makes sense. That makes sense because I would normally build something like Malignance into Shadow Flame, and my damage was pretty solid. Like, pretty solid. So I'm not a big fan of Gwen being too broken, because this champion is very difficult to balance with her kit, and probably that's the right thing to balance. Honestly, I have no idea what you want to nerf for Gwen not to kill the champion, because she's not even that strong during the laning phase, I feel like. Wait, QQ damage decreased, E cooldown decreased, E cooldown increased. What's the nerf though? Oh, it's minus 10. It's minus 10 flat damage, minus 5% CP scaling. Target's maximum health is the same. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Kinda sucks because that's probably the spell that you use the most, but you can almost with the same level of efficiency use his E plus Q combo. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a big problem. Okay, I'm not sure. Q cooldown on Aurelia. Wait, Q cooldown? I mean, it's kinda a dumb thing to nerf, but okay. And bonus to minions reduced. That's a strong thing to nerf. Bonus damage to minions 50. Okay, so they don't touch early, but they nerf late game, so she doesn't one-shot waves. It kinda makes sense, but I don't think it's needed. Okay, let's see the idea. Aurelia is quite set currently in both top and mid, and overly reliant on waiting for her first items pack, which is Bodrog. So we'd like to buff her base kit, especially early game. Wait, they nerf Q cooldown, but what's the point? Okay, mana cost is cool. Mana cost is something I allow. But cooldown? Really? At the same time, they nerf base damage to minions, but they increase AD scaling on Q. So you're really not going to notice any difference in late game. That's something I can tell you for sure. Because numbers you will receive with the AD are going to be about the same that are nerfed. So yeah. We want to emphasize good ability usage, so these buffs are intended to make using your most important spell more impactful and feel better to use. Cool. Vanguard's Edge. Q cooldown reduction remove. No. But what's the point? That's Nah, but are you guys idiots? Like, seriously? So you say, Rela is quite sad currently in both top and mid, and you nerf your ulti Q interaction, so she cannot reset Q if she hits target with ulti? Because it sounds that's exactly what they nerfed, and that's completely fucking dumb shit. Like, that's one of the concepts how Aurelia looks for an all-in. Like, to put it simple, this buff that they bring to Aurelia, it's not equal to how big is the nerf. I think so. It's not even close. Guys, just fucking ignore Rela if you don't have an idea how to fix the champion, how to make it more popular, how to make it stronger. Just don't touch it. Like, why would you buff your Q and the same nerf it in one of the most important ways for her? God bless they didn't nerf E, like her E plus Q combo. But it looks just dumb. Kai'Sa, passive damage decreased. Alright, I mean, that's like one of the strongest things to nerf for Kai'Sa because that's her basically core of her damage output. Minus 3% AP scale initial damage is nerfed as well early on, increased for later stages of the game. Only by 1, so it's whatever, and overall that's a nerf given the AP scaling reduction. Per stack damage 1 to 12, 1 to 6 now? With better AP scaling. Maximum damage 971, 25% AP scaling, 848 based on level. I don't get the idea. Kai'Sa wound up as one of the big winners from the recent item shakeup and is now a bit too strong. Okay, you are hitting the passive AP ratio slightly and the per stack plasma damage more meaningfully in order to make your loose bound to CC supports to leave crit builds less affected. I mean, you cannot make Kai'Sa less bound to CC supports because that's the nature of a champion. That's not related to her AP scales. That's just nature of the champion. You just cannot do that without reworking Kai'Sa. But alright, whatever you say, guys. R damage decreased. Flat damage remains the same. 5% AP scaling. That's a good nerf. That's a good nerf. That's a really good healthy nerf. Kassadin, Q damage decreased, E damage decreased. Kassadin was a big winner from our recent introduction to early game snowball and is now too strong, so we are nerfing him. Cool, very straight. Flat damage is nerfed, flat damage is not nerfed, minus 10% AP scaling. E, Force Pulse. Flat damage is not nerfed, minus 5% AP scaling. Honestly, that's not even that heavy of a nerf. Like, yeah, that sucks for Kassadin mains, but that's not even that big, so Kassadin should go right, I'm pretty sure. KL, W mana cost reduced. What? Wait, but I think you just buffed your W last patch, no? I mean, her mana cost on W, given how shitty is the spell, how little it gives, it's like, yikes. It's actually yikes. You don't really want to use this spell as healing though, you want to use it as either chasing tool to run after the enemy or to run from the enemy. Malphite base health increase. Let's go, Malphite mains. Holy shit, that's so good. Plus 20 HP. Some people would say it's nothing, but actually for a champion like Malphite, that's actually so good. That's so good. Alright, let's go. That's so cool. Nasus, passive lifestyle reduced, Q damage decreased. -5. So it's only -5 lifesteal. Lifesteal kinda hurts, so -3%. -3%. But it kind of makes sense. I would believe, like, if someone would tell me that Nasus will be strong in patch 14.20, that because of all the items nerfed, Nasus would benefit as a champion. Yeah, I would believe that. I would definitely believe that. However, I only played against Nasus 2 times in last patch, and both times I played Alawi, and I completely destroyed these Nasus players. So, yeah, I don't really think this champion needs a nerf. At least I didn't feel like that, but maybe. I don't have the entire database of League of Legends in my mind. Nyla, Q and R quality of life improvements. Nyla EQ combo missile now deals damage instantly in the area rather than when the missile hits the enemy. Nyla auto attack should no longer cancel when her Q buff runs out. Nyla first auto attack coming out of her ultimate should no longer be slightly delayed. I know they balanced something to Nyla, but I never even noticed that it has those issues, and it's kind of weird because this champion been in League of Legends for quite a while, and you know, I would expect to know these issues. Kiana, health regen increased, W damage increased. W damage increased. Huh. It's not the flat numbers. It's plus 10% CD. Health regen plus 8. That's very solid buff. Kiana is not performing very well currently. Honestly, I didn't even seen Kiana in 14.20 a single time. I believe I didn't think I saw her once either in top jungle or mid lane. Like, this champion is just dead, so probably she requires some strong buffs. Probably. Senna. Armor and armor growth reduced. Both of them? Senna is currently the queen of support picks and needs to be taken down a peg in order to give everyone else some breathing room. We're targeting her armor to give physical burst damage the niche they deserve. Man, she already suffers against Pike. Have some nerfs. I mean, on a serious note, I would expect her to have same good times as Nasus, because she has more time to scale because of the items nerf. However, it's important to note that Senna cannot build lethality builds. It's just dog shit because lethality is completely nerfed for Senna. Therefore, you can only go AD build or like Black Cleave or something build. So yeah, it makes sense to nerf her. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you want to nerf for Senna, but well, maybe it makes sense. Maybe it makes sense to make your early game more miserable. But actually, armor growth nerf is very solid. It's almost like 1 point a level. So at level 10, it's almost at level 10 it's like minus 8.5 armor. That's a lot. Severe base AD increased, Q damage decreased. Usually, whenever Severe is getting buffed, she's becoming disgusting strong. Holy fucking shit! Do you guys see these numbers? Wait, at first place I want to ask why her Q spell, given how much it costs. Okay. Whew, I was panicking. It was total AD, now it's only bonus AD. But it's a massive buff to her, no? It sounds like a massive fucking buff. Sir has languished as a general a bit weak, which we are hoping to rectify by giving her more control over her early and mid game. For those who don't want to do the math, these two changes represent a buff for levels 1-12 and a slight nerf afterwards. I mean, levels 1-12 is exactly what she's suffering at, like early to mid game, and at late game she can just 1v9 the game by using W in her wave and randomly poking someone, so yeah. That's a good buff, that's a very high quality buff, I would say. Swain, we changed a lot, you should probably read this one. Woohoo! Okay. Hell's region is just murdered. Yeah, just murdered. Mana is reduced, mana region increased. Passive. Healing. Healing from what? I'm assuming if you hit your E or W or Alt E or Q, probably this. Yeah. Okay, healing. Now it's linear, so it scales of every level, not just at milestones. Alright. I mostly love linear scaling for most champions. It sounds just more healthy. Q, Death Hand. Mana cost is reduced by 5, 1 bolt damage 145, so it's just increased by... Wait, it's nerfed early on, but increased later on, plus 5% AP scaling. Extra bolt damage. 25% of initial hit, maximum damage. Alright. I mean, this is some weird math, but they don't really want to make it too strong early on and be more reliant on AP items, so Swain just doesn't build full tank build, I believe. I believe that's the idea. Legion of Empire, same thing, less flat damage, more AP scaling, slow duration reduced. Slow itself is increased by 5%. Reveal duration is 6 seconds at each level. I don't remember if W was a second spell to max. I remember you were maxing Q into E or Q into W. I don't remember. I didn't play Swain that much. But that looks overall cool. 6 seconds reveal duration. That sounds really cool. That sounds like really cool. Nevermore. 10 seconds to 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. So that's probably your second spell to max. Now your E. Regardless, because it gives super good cooldown reduction. Mana cost is increasing slightly. Outgoing missile speed. Wait, it was scaling with your leveling? Yeah, it was scaling as you level it. Now it just generally faster for early levels, and as you level it becomes slower comparing to what it was later on. Outgoing missile travel time. Okay. Return missile speed. It's much faster. Holy shit, it's just much faster. Yeah, just much faster. Maximum damage. Also has increased AP scaling, reduced by 10 damage, but all the scalings are increased. Like every single scale that was possible to increase, they did increase. Detonation damage. Wow. Wow. No longer displays root particles on targets killed by the explosions, but the detonation damage is just twice as powerful as it was, plus scaling is increased more than twice. Like, his E is fucking nuts now. I'm not even sure at this point if you want to max Q now, because E sounds just super good. Like, these numbers are very, very high. Demon Flare may be repeatedly cast every 8 seconds, unaffected by ability haste, up to 100 times. Good luck. Okay. First cast is still available after 2 seconds. Cooldown 100 seconds, 80 seconds, 60 seconds after transform ends. To 120 when transform begins. Okay. Demon Flare damage 150, 225, 300. AP scaling reduced on this one, by the way. Flat damages are also slightly buffed. Demon Flare decay and slow is increased, so he will be more slowed if I got it right. The slow will be stronger. Sounds like it. Damage per second. Slightly reduced. AP scaling is reduced. Heal per second. Heal is slightly increased, but AP scaling is reduced dramatically. But it also scales of bonus HP now. So Riot wants us to build something like Cosmic Drive, Rylase, maybe Rod of Ages. That's the plan. Talon, W damage increased. Yeah, same thing as Kiana. I just super rarely get to play against Talon, and I think this champion is just dead. Yeah, just dead. Kinda, compared to other champions. Taric, W bonus armor decreased. Man, that's some sick nerf. That's very serious. Taric has been one of statistically strongest supports for a while, despite not feeling like he's winning the game for his team. He started performing even better this split, so it's finally time for a nerf. We're hoping to hit his most invisible sources of power, so he won't feel much different, but should win a more appropriate number of games. I mean, this champion by the concept should have a lot of armor, so that's definitely not what you want to nerf. Definitely not what you want to nerf. Teemo, base health increased, W movement speed increased. Nope. That's not, like literally, if you want to buff Teemo, that's not what you want to change. Not what you want to change. You can kinda speed up the poison, like the way how poison applies. So it applied, like after it applied, it detonates faster. Like it triggers maybe like 3 times a second or something, but yeah. Viego is performing a bit too well, so we're nerfing. He's particularly strong in lower Mar when accounting for masteries, so we're lowering his late game armor. I agree with it. That's cool. Volibear, E cooldown increased. I don't really like this one, because I played myself a lot of Volibear last patch myself. But he has to get a nerf. He definitely has to get a nerf. Volibear has been strong for a while and we're finally nerfing him. His Road of Ages Nowhere build is really interesting and unique, but his cooldowns aren't tuned around this newfound CDR access. We are targeting his E as the frequent shielding and max health damage make him quite hard to deal with. It's a good way to nerf, definitely. I'm not sure if Road of Ages in the War build is the most optimal one though. I tested Sundered Sky. Sundered Sky feel more consistent to me, and the one that I loved the most in the last patch was Cosmic Drive build. Cosmic Drive into full tank build was like really good for me. Cosmic Drive, Frostfire Gauntlet, Spirit Visage, or like Cosmic Drive, Spirit Visage Gauntlet. Like order matters depends on what do you play against. Zaya, W damage increased. I mean, yeah, I didn't see Zaya too often as well. Yon, W damage increased. Yon was fucking strong, so it's a good thing to nerf him. It's a very good thing. It's nothing serious though, only 1% of max HP is W. Yorick, pet damage decreased. Oh, they reduced the scaling. Okay. Sorcerer's Shoes. I'm not sure about that. These shoes are still fairly expensive, so I'm not sure about that one. We're happy with the relative tuning of most AD items, but Blade of Ruined King is currently dominating the on-hit space, taking over builds where it shouldn't be, and generally making tanks feel bad way too quickly. Man, it feels like Riot Games discovered they have a relay in their game. It's seriously. -2%. Man. Rest in peace, Sorella. Like, it's just... No comments. Sorella is just dead. With these changes. Sorella just doesn't want to live in this world. Lethal Tempo. We believe Lethal Tempo is slightly underpowered on melee champions, so we're buffing its melee attack speed. I mean, no, not really. I mean, on Yon and Yasuo, I felt it was just about right last patch. But I didn't really play them myself too often. But it felt alright. It felt alright. I don't think Little Tempo is weak. Alright, guys. That's it. What can I say? Blade of the Ruined King. Probably you should discover some other items for your champions if you're playing melee champion who requires Blade of the Ruined King. For range champions, well, I mean, it's only Twitch who requires it as first item. His first item on AD build, right? But I don't really know what you can replace it with. Like, is there any other alternatives for Twitch? Like, Runan's first sound kinda terrible. Because Blade of the King gives everything you need. Irelia, for Irelia, I'm not sure for Irelia. I mean, you can get Wit's End in certain cases. Maybe you can try to play Triforce, but Blade of the King sounds like just like the item you need. It gives you AD, it gives you attack speed, it doesn't give you unnecessary stats like crit. So yeah. Alright guys, that's it for now. See you in next patch. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and good luck on the Summoner's Rift.